The new Structure tab in G-STAR-BIM 2027 includes several new features that are important from the structural point of view. Here you will find all the comments you need to create a structural planning for a building. With the help of the architectural grid, you can specify the main lines in the building, which will make the design process easier, and you can easily move the elements connected to the grid on the floor plan. If we need multiple grids in the plan, from now on, the other grids placed will follow the numbering of the previous grids, so we don't have to worry about continuity. When placing structural elements, we can place them clearly or even assign them automatically to the intersection points of the grid with a separate command. The structural elements placed in this way are automatically connected to the intersection points of the architectural grid, so the structural elements move together with the grid. We can create slabs in several ways. After specifying the settings, we can automatically create them within the areas defined by the beams, or we can even specify an entire slab in the usual way. We can also assign reinforcement to the structural elements, thus creating the structural design of the building. We can customize the created structure in the 3D model. When adjusting the height of the columns, we can decide whether we want to modify only the height of the given column or all columns in a row. We can specify the value by which we want to change the height of the column graphically or numerically. The beams connected to the columns automatically follow the change and connect them to the other columns in the mesh according to the new shape. This makes it easier than ever to create complex structures. Once we have finished creating the structural elements in our project, we can add the architectural elements. The structural and architectural elements are fully compatible with each other, so we can switch between them seamlessly during the design process, depending on which one we need. By moving the center of rotation, we can easily focus on the part of the design we want to work on. Let's shape the roof and its supporting structure by adjusting the height of the columns. In our model, we can switch between displaying architectural and structural elements with a single click. If we want to change the type of a given element, we can do so with a single click. This feature is very useful when we have already placed an element during the design process, set all its properties, but need to change its type. By selecting the element, the modification is made immediately, so the filters display the status corresponding to the new setting. The properties of the roof can always be customized according to the specific project. In the Properties dialog, we can customize the structural elements of the roof, set the materials to be used, and specify the angle of inclination of each roof plane. Adjust the angle of inclination to the already created frame structure so that the two surfaces will fit together perfectly when placed. Once we have finished specifying the roof settings, we can place it in our project by drawing the desired shape. The settings of the roof planes can be modified after placement, allowing us to always create a shape that meets our specific needs. The navigation cube remembers the last rotation center set, making it easy to view the completed building. On the Structure tab, you can use the Analytics command to check the status of the connections between structural elements. In Analytics mode, a schematic model appears, showing only the structural elements. If you want to view the connection between structural elements, You can also display the connection points. In this case, green dots indicate good connections and red dots indicate faulty ones. The parameters of the structural elements can be displayed in an Excel table, allowing us to provide accurate calculations to the contractor after the design phase.